You know that guitar tone that's just perfect? It's somehow super heavy, but also crystal clear at the same time? Well, that's the magic of Hayato Koga from KANA-BOON. And today, we're going to completely deconstruct his rig. We're talking every single piece of his signature sound, from the guitar itself all the way to the complex brain that runs the whole show.
I mean, just listen to a song like Silhouette. One minute he's hitting you with these huge, powerful riffs, and the next, he's playing these beautiful, delicate arpeggios. That balance is what it's all about. So the big question is, how in the world does he actually get that sound?
All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. We're going to break down his whole setup using something I call the sound builder's pyramid. We'll start at the bottom with the absolute basics and just build our way up, layer by layer, until we get to the core philosophy behind it all.
Okay, Section 2, Foundation. Every great tone, starts with two things, right? The guitar and the amp. Let's see what Koga's building on.
So at his core, he's a Les Paul guy. That's his home base. But what's cool is that he's definitely not a purist. He'll grab Fenders for that classic snap and variety, and he even went all the way and designed his own signature model, the Arpeggios Black Hornet. And this first guitar, his Les Paul Studio, is so much more than just a nostalgia trip. It's basically the blueprint for his entire approach to gear. See, he actually modded this thing, swapping out the neck pickup for a much brighter single coil to get a completely new sound. And get this, that exact modification, it became a central feature of his own signature guitar years down the line. Pretty cool.
Now for the amps. And he doesn't just pick one, he's smart. He blends two absolute legends together. He's got the Bogner Ecstasy, which is this super versatile modern amp that gives him that rich mid-range to really cut through the mix. And then he pairs that with a classic Marshall JCM 900 for that undeniable rock crunch and high-end sizzle. It's the best of both worlds.
All right, moving up the pyramid. Now we're talking about texture. This is his palette of grit, all the distortion, overdrive, and fuzz pedals he uses to color his sound.
See, for Koga, a drive pedal isn't just an on-off switch for heavy. No way! He's got a whole arsenal of them, and each one is for creating a specific layer or texture. It's like he has a different voice you can call on for any part of any song.
And check this out. This is where you can really see his strategy. Each pedal has a super specific job. You've got the legendary Klon Centaur, which he uses to just strengthen his rhythm tones. Then there's the Providence Flame Drive, which is basically another amp in a box, making sure his sound is massive in big rooms. And of course, when things need to get really intense and emotional, he stops on that classic Big Muff fuzz.
And here's a little fun fact for you, just to show how much he loves his gear. He actually nicknamed his prized Klon Centaur pedal. He calls it Kenchan, which is pretty funny. Considering that pedal is so rare, his specific version is worth like over $5,000 today.
Okay, so we've got the foundation, and we've got the grit. What's next? It's time to add the color and the space. You know, the effects that give everything depth and personality.
And his approach here is really smart. For his bread and butter effects, like delay and chorus, he sticks with the super reliable Boss pedals. We all know them. But when he needs to get more complex and high-tech, he pulls out the big guns, these powerful Eventi units. The key thing there is that they can be controlled with MIDI, which basically lets all his fancy gear talk to each other. You know, this quote about his delay pedal really tells you everything about his philosophy. It's not about having the flashiest or most expensive thing on the board, it's about choosing gear for its actual sound. He picked this Boss delay because he loves that mild, musical echo that just sits perfectly in a track without being harsh. It's all about what serves the song.
So, okay, he's got all these amazing pedals, but how does he actually use them all live without looking like he's tap dancing all over the stage? Well, that brings us to the very top of the pyramid, the brains of the whole operation.
I mean, think about it. You're going from a clean verse with some chorus and delay straight into a heavy chorus that needs an overdrive and maybe a pitch shifter. Trying to stomp on 3 or 4 pedals at the exact same millisecond? Yeah, it's pretty much impossible. His solution? A programmable switching system. He uses this amazing piece of kit from Free the Tone. You can think of it like the central command center for his entire pedal board. He basically programs all his sounds. You know, this is my verse sound, this is my chorus sound, this is my solo sound. And then, during the show, he can call up that entire complex combination with just one single stomp. And like he says himself, this kind of control is absolutely essential for playing live. It just lets him forget about the gear and actually focus on his performance, knowing that whatever sound he needs is right there, one step away, night after night. Okay, so we've looked at all the individual pieces of gear, but what does it all mean when you put it together? What's the big picture here? What's his actual philosophy of tone?
It really comes down to this duality, this perfect balance between the old and the new. He totally embraces all the cool stuff modern digital tech can do, the complex eventide effects, the MIDI control, but he builds it all on a foundation of that warm, classic analog sound from his guitars and amps.
And when you zoom out and look at the whole system, you start to see these key principles pop up. First and foremost, every single gear choice is about serving the song, not just showing off. He's also all about control and consistency for live shows. And I love this. He's even thinking about ergonomics, literally carving his signature guitar to make it more comfortable for him to play. And the best part? He designed that signature model to be affordable so his fans could actually get one. How cool is that?
So in the end, tearing down Hayato Koga's rig shows us something really important. A great guitar sound, it's not just about collecting a bunch of expensive toys, it's a reflection of a real philosophy. It's about that balance, the old and the new, raw power and careful control, creativity and practicality. So that really leaves us with one last question to think about. What's the philosophy behind your sound?